Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the ChaddyTheChump channel. And Dubois did it. He got the victory at the Co-op Live against Wardley. He is the new WBO World Heavyweight Champion. I called it. I said, go look back at my prediction video, and you saw it, and you saw he was being overlooked. I do feel like the build-up, he was being overlooked, and it proved to be a Dubois victory, as I thought it would be. But let's talk about the fight. We're going to go in depth on it, because it was a great fight. A lot of people are saying fight of the year. So yeah, let's get right into it. So, Dubois, Wardley, what a fight. What a fight. It was absolutely intense. The adrenaline was pumping. It was a great fight. I was live there. Great atmosphere. And it starts off, and it didn't start slowly. First 10-20 seconds, Dubois goes down. The shot wasn't really one that would hurt the opponent, more just shock the opponent. So Dubois goes down, he gets back up, and the fight continues. And I'm going, oh my, is this going to be a Wardley quick win? It didn't end up being that. Dubois, Wardley, they both, are going at it. Rounds 2, and then round 3, Dubois goes down again. He takes a knee, which in this fight proved to be a very valuable knee, and that helped Dubois a lot, which not a lot of people would think. I mean, right, it's a 10-8 round, not good, but what was good is he got a bit of a rest, and then after that it was all Dubois. Wardley was getting seriously hurt, right? A lot of people say the fight should have been stopped earlier. Somewhat agree, right? The corner, maybe they could have stopped it. Look, Wardley's a warrior, and he ain't going to want to go out, having his corner say that's enough. But when it is enough, it is enough. And eventually it did get to a point where Wardley was all bashed up in the face. And you've got to stop the fight. If you're in the corner, he's not got a chance. When a fight is stopped, they stop the fight because the corner doesn't believe that their fighter will win the fight, and the only thing that's happening is he's gonna get hurt. And I feel like round 8 or so, that was kind of known, but the fight goes to round 11. Before that, the doctor checks up on Wardley twice, and both times the doctor lets the fight continue. And then round 11, Dubois lands a big shot, and the ref just goes, yep, this is enough, right, this is enough punishment, waves off the fight, and that is Dubois' victory. Definitely not an early stoppage, right? I feel like only casuals are saying it was an early stoppage. A late stoppage, maybe so. Not by the ref, though. I don't think the ref has to really, stop the fight early, because Wardley's beat up, but he's still fighting. He's still throwing shots. It's up to the corner if they want to keep seeing their, fighter getting punished and still going, but getting punished. It's up to the doctor to see if the cuts are alright to continue. Ref ends up stopping it in the end, and Dubois is victorious. What a performance, right? What a performance. Any doubt of quitting is gone, right? It's gone. And even before this fight, I said, right, if you actually look at the times Dubois has quit, right, Joe Joyce fractured eye, then the other 2 times were against Alexander Usyk, which is still number 1 heavyweight, and one of the greatest heavyweights of, all time, and the best heavyweight of this generation. It's clear as day he isn't a quitter, right? Usyk's unbelievable, and he got knocked out by Usyk in the second. The first one, he got unlucky with that low blow. But Dubois victorious. Who is next for both guys? We'll talk about Dubois first. Who's next? A rematch clause did get mentioned at the end of the fight. Could it happen a rematch? I wouldn't mind seeing it. I feel like a rematch is, deserved for Wardley after that, going to war after, not backing down. He deserves a rematch if he wants it. He should probably get some rest, but he does deserve the rematch. If not a rematch, that Moses Toma fight is being talked about a lot. Ajit Kabayel as well is a possibility, because Kabayel is waiting for that Usyk fight, but if that doesn't come, then Dubois, Kabayel, another great heavyweight fight that could be had. Now Fabio Wardley, who's next for Fabio Wardley? Well, first of all, I do say take some rest. Rematch, yes. If you want to go down a bit, maybe there's guys like your Martin Bacolas, your Jarrell Millers, who he was supposed to fight. You could get another warm-up and come back and fight, maybe in like Wembley Arena or something like that. That's definitely possible as well. We'll see what happens. I don't really want to see a rematch happen like straight away. It's a great fight, but I want to see him go to some things. I think a rematch would be very similar in a Dubois victory. Quite, like similar to that performance where he wins a lot of the rounds, and maybe even now Dubois wouldn't go down if there was a rematch. So yeah, Wardley gets some rest and Dubois gets celebrated, and then there's everything. He's world champion, so we'll see what happens next. Okay, now let's have a quick chat on the undercard. A pretty decent undercard, a lot of stoppages. Right, the co-main event, Rafferty walks down Essuman and defeats him, being the lighter guy. Pretty impressive. The corner retires in around round 7, and a brilliant win for Jack Rafferty. He'll be in some big fights now. If you think he stopped Essuman earlier than Cattrall, so that's pretty impressive. So Rafferty, there's of course that ever-looming Chamberlain fight. Maybe he fights Chamberlain if he beats Pace O'Leary. I guess we'll see what happens. He has moved up. But overall, a great win for Jack Rafferty. As well as that, Brad Ray gets the knockout against Liam Cameron round 4. A big shot. Right, Brad Ray, he does that a lot. He waits and he finds a big shot, and that's what he sort of did in the Lyndon Arthur fight, except Lyndon Arthur got up and, won the fight in the end, whereas this one, of course, Liam Cameron couldn't get up because the shot was so powerful. So, a great shot for Brad Ray, and a great victory. He'll be back, maybe, Lyndon Arthur fight rematch, maybe the winner of Arthur versus Lewis Edmondson, because that's at Southampton Football Ground, so we'll see about that. But again, big things for Brad Ray, Manchester guy. Can't wait to see what is next. As well as that, there was a massive upset. Some are saying one of the biggest upsets in British boxing history, and that was Chelli defeating David Morrell. Zach Chelli getting the win, round 10, down on the scorecards, manages to knock out a former world champion in David Morrell. Very, very impressive. Very, very unexpected. And Morrell, he's kind of falling down now. But that's a massive win for Zach Chelli, and that will boost his career now. And that's another fight in the light heavyweights. And he's going to be a name now as well. The light heavyweight division still stacked. Maybe we see Zach Chelli versus Brad Ray. Who knows? But an unbelievable win. As well as that, Gwynne defeats Khalil Majid. a good win for Gavin Gwynne. He'll come back up now. And we'll see, you know, because he really needed that win after those 2 Cameron Vuong fights, where the first one was a draw, and then I think Cameron Vuong won the second one. So, a brilliant win for him as well. It was a very, you know, cagey match of both throwing shots in the pocket, you know, a very much fight in the pocket. And it was a Gavin Gwynne victory, quite close, but overall a great card in Manchester, and it was topped by what probably is the best fight I've ever watched live in Wardley versus Dubois. The signed glove there is going to go up in price now. But that's not the only reason why, you know, I wanted Dubois to win. Also, because of, you know, just the doubters and everyone saying he quits and all of that. And it just wasn't the case in the end. And Dubois ain't no quitter. And now I can safely say Dubois is number 2 in the heavyweight rankings. I think he beats Fury, I think he beats Cabell, he beats Wardley in a rematch. The only guy who he can't beat and nobody can beat is Usyk, and that Itoma fight is probably going to be Dubois' biggest test when we see it, because I definitely think we will see that fight. But thank you for watching this video. We got a very good fight next week in Dave Allen Hrgovic as well. So the heavyweight fights keep on coming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.